Well, I'm at the end of the first week, and it's time for a bit of a recap. I've been practicing now for 7 days, and I keep track of all the times that I have spent actually practicing the guitar in this book. There are a few more days in here than from when I did the first video, but in the last 7 days, recorded here is 10.5 hours of log practice time, which works out to just about an hour and a half a day. But I did miss a couple of days, so it's 3 hours some days and 2 hours others. Additional to that, there's probably about 2 hours of just goofing around, playing things, songs that I like, not specific to practicing, which I don't log. I don't actually count that in my practice time because it's just it's noodling on top of the guitar. This is obviously not enough time though. In order to meet my goals, I have to increase that by about 3 times. If I only practice as much as I have this week, I'm just not going to be able to do what I want to do in the next 3 to 5 years. So I'm really going to have to pick up the amount I practice. The reasons why I haven't done as much really is my hands get tired. After practicing for a little while, especially really heavy technique stuff, my hands start to get fatigued, and then I have to take a bit of a break, and sometimes I just don't come back to playing. The second is my brain gets tired. After I've been really concentrating for about 2 hours, it seems to be about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, I start to just not be able to pay as much attention to what I'm doing as I'd like to. And then again I take a break and may not return, which is a bit of a problem. I do have a practice schedule which has been a big help. It's split into 3 different days, and these 3 different days are kind of focusing on different aspects of my playing that I want to improve. Like the first day is acoustic fingerstyle, so that's focusing on the right hand rhythm on top of the guitar, playing bass notes on top with, melody lines using the fingers, being able to play 2 different rhythms at that. So that's, definitely acoustic fingerstyle and blues fingerstyle kind of playing. The other kind is metal rock electric blues, so that's my second day. On that day I practice things like speed and techniques, so really trying to get the speed that I can play scales and licks at much faster, and focusing on melody and expression, so that's kind of the communication of feeling. It's the blues, the blues lead aspect of it, is really trying to get a good tone and just concentrate on communicating those feelings. And the third day is jazz and classical, so jazz guitar, a little more acoustic based, but I'll probably pick up the electric guitar for that as well. And that's focusing on technique, purely on just perfect timing, perfect tone, and music theory as well. So that'll be probably more complicated chords, because you're playing slightly, 7ths and 9ths and 13ths once you start getting into jazz, minor 5s and stuff like that, flat 5s. So all of these styles I have material for. So that's a bunch of different books on method, which I just bought off Amazon, ones that I checked reviews for that were kind of known for being good. I have sheet music, so music that I'm actually studying, which I bought again, so classical music as well as the real book for jazz standards. And I plan to transcribe artists, so that's listening to music that I have and then working out myself from scratch without using already pre-written music. I'm trying to figure out just for myself, just by listening, what's being played. And then maintaining a repertoire over time. So I'll have a bunch of classical songs, a bunch of maybe speed metal songs, I don't know, or some Satriani or something, and acoustic fingerstyle, maybe some Robert Johnson style blues, those sorts of things. And then maintain a repertoire which I can kind of improve on and maybe even get to the point of playing it live, which is ultimately obviously the goal of these kind of things. So next week I'm just going to be focusing on more of the same with a focus on more. I think I've been doing the right things. The material that I'm studying is good, and I'm putting in good amounts of effort and time and concentration. I just need more of that. So that's how I plan on doing that, is transcriptions and repertoire. I find I've just been going through the books that I have, the material that I have. I just read it, and then I do the exact exercises that it tells me to. I think what I need to do is maybe a little more exploratory stuff, like make sure I'm getting songs down to scratch, like just songs I want to learn, and then transcribing slightly more complicated pieces. I'll be posting, in addition to this video, just examples of what I've been doing. So that's my terrible playing at this stage. It's actually a little bit embarrassing when I look at this stuff. I thought maybe I was a little bit better than I am. It turns out that I'm not quite as advanced as even I had originally thought. And it's full of mistakes, and it's actually quite unprofessional. I think it's a bit embarrassing to put it up, but the value of it is that maybe people will see this and realize that you don't have to be number one or perfect in order to post your things online. And over time, I hope to improve and have a record, like be able to see this is where I started from and this is kind of where I ended up. And for that reason, I'm not going to prevent myself. So I'll be doing that again next week. More of the stuff that I've been practicing during next week. So I hope this is still interesting and that maybe you're inspired to do the same thing. And if you are, then post it on YouTube and post a reply. I also have Twitter now that you can follow me on Twitter, and maybe if you start doing this as well, I can start following you, and we can get a community of people who are interested in kind of practicing guitar and showing this online. So yeah, look forward to seeing anything that you have to do.